Steve Evans, before we move on to Charlton, I've got to look back at Carlisle. I don't think I've ever seen you as annoyed after a Stevenage game as you were on Saturday.
Yeah, I think there was a huge opportunity lost to get the 3 points. I think the performance was largely dominating. I think it's only Paul Simpson seeing it a different way, but if you're similar, you're delighted with the response you get from your players. They dug in. I've had teams that's done that and got a point. But from our point of view, we dominated the game and missed a host of chances. And you think you moved on from it, and then we obviously register our thoughts, which we do, to the EFL, PGMO referees, and they've come back and confirmed what we thought. The first goal for Carlisle is offside, and they've come back and said that Carl Piagiani's goal should stand, clearly should stand. And young secretary, we've got young James, who's only with us perhaps 7-8 months, who's now saying that's his 10th or 11th time we've had that type of email to say that we were right and they were wrong. So all we ask officials to do is get the big decisions right. They got it wrong. It's never, didn't mean, says the referee, didn't mean to get them wrong. It's not the referee, because he don't determine offsides. He goes with a flag or a voice down his channels of communication. But the Piagiani goal was hard to take because he looked clearly onside. The goalkeeper makes a huge error. We take advantage of it, and 4 minutes later we're drawn again. We should be 3-1 and out of sight. So that's why I was annoyed. But that annoyance is gone. But the honesty and integrity you get from the head of referees and people like Howard Webb is it's a poor decision. We'll learn from it. The coach to make the system better, and that's all we can ask, because it's a very tough call at times.
And I mean, just moving away from that referee, but I think you were a little bit sort of annoyed as well about sort of some of the defending. Have you focused on that this week?
Yeah, of course. You can't defend for the offside goal is half a yard, half a metre, whatever you want to call it these days. But we should defend it better, quite simply. With my marking nominations in every set play situation defensively, and he just gets away from Robbo. To be fair, when you look at it, the one player that could probably hold Jordan Roberts off in its arm for arm has been a goal scorer his career, Joe Garner, and I know Joe really well, and he sneaks it in. But I think also maybe we should save it as well. So there's a whole combination of things, but we'll learn from it. That's what we do. We don't win here, we don't get down, we learn. So when we came in on Monday, we went through it with the boys. A few of the boys put their hands up, could do things better. But it's both boxes, isn't it? If we take our chances, we score 7 or 8, maybe more. So we have to be more ruthless and more dominant in both boxes.
And it was a shame, because a large part of that performance was actually what you would have wanted, creating the chances.
Yeah, that's what we said it. We're playing against teams, and we're in every game. We're in League One here. We're in a new environment, if you like. The oppositions are better. Carlisle are better than last year. Summer does a great job up there. Leyton Orient are better than last year. That was demonstrated. They go to Exeter and win, and yet we go to Leyton Orient and dominate. We dominate at home at Carlisle. So we're in a good place in League One. But we also, as I said on Saturday, and I said to the players on Monday, for us the real League One comes for the next 6 weeks. And the real League One is the quality of opposition, and there's probably only one or two that can say or have claims to be a bigger club than Charlton Athletic on Saturday. So we're very humble and respectful that we're playing a former Premier League club here in a league fixture. So it's brilliant for the town of Stevenage. Fantastic.
And I mean, you talk about Charlton, they've got a new manager in, that they're going to be sort of cock-a-hoop, they're going to be really confident and positive. You're going to have to shut them up, really.
Oh yeah, and Appy's a good manager as well. He's a friend of mine, Michael. He's a good guy. We've always had a brilliant relationship, not in terms of closeness, always speaking, but a real respect for each other. So I know what Michael will take to Charlton. He'll take some real stability, some real organisation. They'll focus a lot more on keeping the ball than what they did before in the other parts of the season. But I know a couple of the new owners that I've got in at Charlton. They're really good people, so that club will come together. But I just think it's a wonderful occasion for us that we're entertaining Charlton Athletic in a league fixture on a level playing field. And we look forward to the challenge that'll bring. Big support, sold out away end, and there'll be a few trying to sneak over the roofs. That's what Charlton do. They're a bit like Leeds. They turn up if you're playing in a car park. So in the town of Stevenage, our fans are turning up. The ticket sales are good. We need them to continue to be good. We need the Lamex bouncing on Saturday. And when that's happened in my time here, we've normally took care of the fixture.
And I mean, the the funny thing is, of course, Charlton are coming with a new manager and be full of confidence, but they're coming to a side who are top of the league, who are full of confidence themselves, who are disappointed that they went top of the league with a draw.
Yeah, listen, I think I said it when I came out of the dressing room that we were told we'd gone top of the league with a point, but it was because Carlisle got such a late equaliser and probably undeserved, whatever everyone says, undeserved, and against the run of play, and against two big decisions they got against us. I've never seen a dressing room so low. I was talking to the chairman on Sunday morning, and the chairman said to me, it's not the normal Sunday feeling, winning and losing, because we know we should have won. We understand we need to be better defensively. We understand we need to be better in forward areas because of the opportunities we created, not took. But it was interesting that we were on top of League One, which was unthinkable 18 months ago, and we're still disappointed. But that's the standards the dressing room sets for itself, led by our captain, who was disappointed himself and disappointed that we didn't take point, because believe me, every point is hard earned in League One and League Two. Every 3 years is really difficult to get. But 3 points in August, September is the same as 3 points in March or April. And it's the guys who never win promotions, those managers out there that can't win a promotion, they forget what 3 points are. 3 points are massive in any time of the season. And yet I hear those guys that never get promoted talk about, this is a big one. It's March. Yeah, okay. Well, you got to get in March to give yourself a chance.
You talk about Carl Piergiani, he's been in the wars, one of many who's been in the wars. How is the squad looking?
The squad's looking good. I feel really sorry for Carl Piergiani. He's hauled to the floor 3 times on Saturday. He's hauled to the floor against Portsmouth the week before. Been hauled to the floor against Leyton Orient. And officials say, well, he's given as good as it gets. No, he's not. He's not manhandling people in the box. Dan Sweeney got manhandled last week in the box. You're just looking saying this is not right. So we don't expect our centre backs to get penalties. We don't expect them to get given these awards, but we do expect a bit of fairness. We do expect equal rights for those guys. But yeah, our squad is good. We're not going to have. I think Luther Wilden will train today. If he trains today, he'll be potentially included in the match day squad. But I think in reality now we're 2 weeks away from 3 or 4 players joining the group. We've got 2 free weeks as well with no midweek action. So suddenly we could be looking at Aaron Presley back in the fray. We could be looking at Terence Van Kooten. Everyone's forgot about Terence back in the fray. Young Kane Smith back in the fray with Harry Anderson, who's had a lot of injection to settle his groin down, back in the fray, and I think he's about a week. So from that point of view, looks as if we'll be making some good signings in 10 days' time, 2 weeks' time, because we've not seen Van Kooten really. We've not seen him at all this season, and he is a Rolls Royce at League One. So we're looking forward to having those guys' input. Aaron Presley was just starting to really perform, really starting to get sharp, starting to look a real presence, coming into games or after games, coming into the room and opposition managers talking about, what about the boy Presley today? And then he gets a little niggle when he goes out. So these are big players, and we're coming through this. We look forward to when we consistently say we've got most of our group available for selection, because you and I know we've had benches where really, in earnest, we could only probably put 3 or 4 of those players on the pitch. And so that makes it harder. It's been harder for the group, but they've been terrific.
Well, I've just sort of mentioned to Macca out there, he's one of the few that's been playing roughly every game because he's had no choice but to play every game. And when you look at the course of the season, you're going to have to manage that eventually somewhere down the line, aren't you?
Yeah, I can remember, speaking in isolation a bit back, I can remember when I met him in the summer, I was keen to bring him here for his, primarily for what he does as a player, and secondly, how good he is in the dressing room. He could be I think they do call my son in that dressing room. And his claim is that he played with Scotland as under 21s. But no, Mac is a great kid. He has played more. He gives everything for the cause. He may have a role to play on Saturday. We've got a real tough game on Saturday, but the whole group is focused. The ones that we've got available selection will be fine-tuned and ready, and we need the supporters to back us to what would be, for me, an historic win. If you're competing level playing field with Charlton Athletic, with Portsmouth, with Derby County, with Barnsley, with Bolton. These are former Premier League clubs. So we know how tough our challenge is every week the season goes by. And when we lose, we'll keep it controlled and calm inside the building. And when we win, we'll keep it calm and controlled inside the building. So, but that's what promotion managers do.